7 Ways Sigma Males Incite Fear in Others. In a world obsessed with social hierarchies and dominance, there exists a rare breed of individuals who defy convention and incite an inexplicable fear in others. These are the Sigma males. Welcome, Sigmas. Today, we're diving deep into the psyche of the Sigma male to uncover the 7 ways they naturally evoke fear and awe in those around them. But first, let's set the stage with a thought-provoking quote. The greatest fear in the world is of the opinions of others, and the moment you are unafraid of the crowd, you are no longer a sheep. Eosho Sigmas embody this philosophy, living life on their own terms, indifferent to societal expectations. Their independence and self-reliance challenge the status quo, making others question their own conformity. So, Sigmas, make sure you stick around, hit that like button, and subscribe to join this community of lone wolves. Number 1, their ability to see through people. Sigmas possess an almost eerie ability to read people like an open book. This isn't just intuition. It's a highly tuned sense of observation, backed by psychology. Studies in microexpressions, a concept pioneered by psychologist Paul Ekman, reveal that fleeting facial expressions can betray a person's true emotions, even when they try to hide them. Most people miss these subtle cues, but not a Sigma. They pick up on micro movements, the tightening of a jaw, the quick dart of the eyes, the slight downturn of lips before a forced smile. They hear the hesitation in someone's words, the unnatural rhythm of their speech, the carefully chosen but hollow reassurances. A Sigma doesn't just listen to what you say. He hears what you're not saying. This ability makes insecure individuals squirm. They know their facade is cracking under the Sigma's gaze. When a Sigma locks eyes with someone, it's as if he's peeling back their carefully crafted persona, layer by layer, until only the raw, unfiltered truth remains. It's unsettling. Most people rely on social masks to navigate the world, whether it's fake confidence, fake kindness, or exaggerated bravado. But Sigmas don't just see past it, they feel it, and that's terrifying. Because in a world where people spend so much time crafting illusions, the last thing they want is someone who can see straight through. A Sigma doesn't have to say a word. His presence alone is enough to make the deceptive feel vulnerable. Number 2, intellectual dominance. Sigma males are natural deep thinkers, often immersing themselves in knowledge that extends beyond surface-level understanding. They aren't just well-read. They analyze, question, and deconstruct ideas with a precision that can leave others feeling exposed. Their intellectual prowess isn't a mere display of trivia. It's a tool for understanding the world on a deeper level. They absorb knowledge like a sponge and synthesize it in ways that challenge conventional thought. This ability can be intimidating to those who are accustomed to accepting things at face value. When a Sigma speaks, it's rarely just to fill the silence. Their words carry weight, often packed with logic, insight, and a fresh perspective that others may not have considered. Those who rely on societal norms or popular opinion may find themselves struggling to defend their viewpoints when faced with a Sigma's well-articulated reasoning. Because Sigmas refuse to accept things just because, they naturally disrupt the status quo. This forces those around them to reevaluate their own beliefs, something not everyone is comfortable doing. Many people prefer the security of their long-held assumptions, and when confronted with an alternative perspective, they may react defensively. This discomfort can manifest as fear, resentment, or even outright hostility toward the Sigma. In many ways, Sigma males embody the Socratic principle. An unexamined life is not worth living. But not everyone wants their life examined. The mere presence of a Sigma, with their unshakable intellectual independence, can make some feel inadequate. Instead of rising to the challenge, they may label the Sigma as arrogant or difficult, when in reality, he is simply unwilling to settle for shallow thinking. Number 3, their relentless focus. While the masses are glued to their screens, endlessly scrolling through social media, engaging in gossip and chasing fleeting trends, the Sigma male operates on an entirely different wavelength. His mind isn't occupied with trivial distractions. It's locked onto a mission. He moves with quiet precision, refining his skills, expanding his knowledge, and pushing his limits. This is a man who understands that time is the most valuable currency. He spends it wisely, Psychologists call this the crab mentality. When people see someone rising, they instinctively try to pull them down rather than elevate themselves. The Sigma male becomes a living reminder of their wasted potential, their lack of discipline, and the fact that success is not luck, but the result of relentless effort. This triggers insecurity. Instead of being inspired to level up, many choose fear, resentment, and even sabotage. This is why society often misunderstands the Sigma male. His silent grind makes him an enigma. Unlike the Alpha, who commands attention, or the Beta, who follows the crowd, the Sigma moves outside the hierarchy, walking his own path. This makes him unpredictable, something people both admire and fear. But the Sigma doesn't seek validation. He thrives in solitude, letting his work speak for itself. While others waste time, he builds an empire. And by the time they realize it, he's already miles ahead, unstoppable, unshaken, and completely in control of his destiny. Number 4, their disregard for authority. Throughout history, the most feared men weren't always those who wielded power, but those who remained unaffected by it. Sigma males belong to this rare breed, men who acknowledge power but refuse to kneel before it. Unlike the masses who comply without question, Sigmas challenge authority not out of rebellion, but out of principle. They see power for what it is, an illusion that only holds weight when people submit to it. Take workplace hierarchies, for example. A Sigma male doesn't play office politics, doesn't butter up the boss, and certainly doesn't conform just to climb the corporate ladder. Instead, he lets his competence speak for itself. This refusal to engage in power games unsettles those who thrive on control. It's why many Sigmas find themselves as lone wolves in the professional world, respected but often misunderstood. The same principle applies to relationship. While others may feel the need to prove themselves or seek validation, a Sigma simply walks away from any dynamic that demands blind obedience. His independence forces others to question their own need for control, making him both intriguing and intimidating. Historically, figures like Nikola Tesla, Bruce Lee, and even certain revolutionaries embodied the Sigma mindset. They didn't outright reject authority, but they questioned it. And nothing terrifies an authoritarian figure more than a man who cannot be controlled. Sigmas don't seek to dismantle power structures. They expose them for what they are. Their quiet defiance shakes the foundation of control, leaving those in power with one unsettling realization: their authority is only as strong as the obedience of others. Number 5, their mysterious nature. People fear what they don't understand. And Sigma males, they are like unsolved riddles, moving through life with an air of quiet confidence that leaves people both intrigued and unsettled. Unlike the typical Alpha who thrives on dominance or the Beta who seeks approval, the Sigma operates outside the social hierarchy altogether. This independence alone is enough to make people uncomfortable. In a world where oversharing is the norm, Sigmas remain reserved. They don't broadcast their every move, their plans, or their emotions, and this lack of transparency confuses people. Human psychology craves predictability. We feel safer when we can anticipate what someone will do next. But as Sigma, you never truly know what they're thinking. Their silence isn't empty. It's calculated. Their actions aren't impulsive. They're strategic, and that level of self-control is unsettling to those who rely on social validation. This mystery isn't just intriguing. It's powerful. Think of historical figures like Nikola Tesla or Bruce Lee, men who operated on their own terms, never seeking validation, yet commanding deep respect. Their unpredictability made them forces to be reckoned with. Similarly, Sigma males embody that same enigmatic energy. People don't know whether to admire them or fear them, so they often do both. When society can't put you in a box, it frustrates them. They want to label you, categorize you, define you. But when that fails, fear takes over. Sigmas don't fit the script. They don't follow trends. They don't need approval. And that makes them dangerous in a world that depends on conformity. Number 6, and their unbreakable composure. A Sigma male's ability to remain calm under pressure is more than just a personality trait. It's a psychological advantage. In a world where people thrive on emotional reactions, the one who remains unshaken holds all the power. It's so that world powered when someone tries to provoke a reaction, whether through insults, passive-aggressive comments, or outright hostility. They're looking for control. They expect frustration, anger, or defensiveness. But when a Sigma male responds with nothing but unshaken composure, it throws them off balance. Suddenly, their usual manipulative tactics become useless, and they are forced to face an uncomfortable truth. They don't have the influence they thought they did. This emotional detachment is rooted in logic, rather than being driven by impulse. Sigma processes situations strategically. They recognize that emotional outbursts rarely solve problems. In fact, they often escalate them. By staying calm, they maintain the upper hand, making decisions based on reason rather than fleeting emotions. This is a trait shared by some of history's most influential figures, from Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius to modern-day leaders who navigate high-stakes situations with unwavering composure. More importantly, this mindset exposes a fundamental weakness in others: their lack of emotional discipline. Many people don't realize how much of their power is tied to the reactions they provoke in others. When faced with someone they can't manipulate, they're left feeling powerless, sometimes even intimidated. In the end, true strength isn't about dominating others. It's about self-mastery, and nothing commands more respect or fear than a man who cannot be controlled. Number 7, their willingness to walk alone. From an early age, society drills into people the idea that solitude is loneliness, that without constant validation, something must be wrong. But Sigma males, they break that illusion. They don't just tolerate solitude, they master it. It becomes their sanctuary, their training ground, and their source of inner strength. Psychologists have found that solitude fosters deep introspection, creativity, and resilience, qualities Sigmas cultivate naturally. While others seek external reassurance, Sigmas sharpen their minds, set their own goals, and operate on their own terms. This independence makes them unpredictable, and people fear what they don't understand. When others witness a Sigma thriving alone, it disrupts the norm. It forces them to confront an uncomfortable truth. Maybe they don't need the constant noise of others. Maybe solitude isn't a weakness, but a power. And that's why Sigmas seem untouchable. They've unlocked something society never taught: the strength of self-sufficiency. Sigmas, you don't instill fear by force, intimidation, or aggression. You do it by simply existing as your authentic, independent self. And the truth is, people fear what they cannot control. If you resonate with this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to join this growing community of Sigma males. Let's continue to apply these powerful traits to our lives and live with impact. Having said this,